Browns and the Ravens. It's a great rivalry on the football field as a storied AFC North rivalry. And it's a rivalry here at Chat Sports as well because we're jockeying back and forth between the Cleveland Browns report and the Ravens rundown. Now, Cleveland on the football field, not a better team than the Baltimore Ravens, but this is the better channel, yet we're 1,500 subscribers away from overtaking them. And the bosses are in my ear right now. They're saying, Chase, no live Ravens videos next year if you don't surpass the Browns report in subscribers. So if you want to stay in the know with all things Ravens, the best Ravens channel on YouTube, just hit that red subscribe button down below and let's dive into these Ravens rumors. It is the Ravens Rundown on Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Senior. Hope all of Ravens flock is having a fantastic start to the week. Some really good Ravens news and rumors items to get into on today's show. And we start off with the face of the Ravens franchise in Lamar Jackson. I absolutely love the development that I've seen from Lamar since he came into the league out of Louisville. The surprise back end of the first-round pick by Baltimore has proven so many people wrong. And now, is he going to be able to continue to prove those detractors wrong by absolutely securing the bag? He's entering the final year of his current deal. Lamar and his mother has been acting as his agent, and these negotiations are going to continue to go down between Lamar and his camp and his mom, as well as this Ravens organization, one of the best run organizations across the NFL. But could these contract talks kind of prohibit Lamar from partaking in some of the Ravens offseason programs? If it was up to Ryan Clark of ESPN, Lamar Jackson wouldn't go on the practice field until he puts ink to paper. Ryan Clark saying this on ESPN today. If you're Lamar Jackson, you have to understand how much money that you are worth just walking around, and that's what you have to make the Baltimore Ravens pay you. This guy has absolutely carried this team since taking over for Joe Flacco. Facts, by the way. He wins an MVP, 2 back-to-back seasons of 1,000 yards rushing, and early on in the season, when this team was depleted, no running back, missing pieces on the defensive side of the football, he was willing them to win with his legs, his arm, and his heart. And Lamar Jackson has really been a model citizen on the football field as well as off of it. That's why he's become the face of the franchise. And his development as a passer, in my opinion, is a big reason why I think the Ravens should have no hesitations in paying him, and they shouldn't have any reservations or any lack of confidence about Lamar Jackson being the future quarterback of this football team. What he can do from a dynamic athletic ability with his arm and with his legs is truly one of one. It's better than Michael Vick was ever able to do because Lamar Jackson is the better passer and his running threat just as good as a guy like Michael Vick. As we continue to break all of this down, I want you to chime into the comment section right now. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with that YouTube ad break, just scroll on down and get your votes in. Will Lamar win another MVP award in his career? I'm going to go ahead and type my Y for yes, but if you disagree with me, type your N for no. Let's continue this conversation about Lamar Jackson. Ryan Clark, he wants to see Lamar get paid. Understandable. Ryan Clark saying that Lamar Jackson deserves to be in that $40 million plus per year crew. I believe that's what he needs to get to even walk on the grass in Baltimore, going back to some of the conversations that we had earlier on in the show. $40 million per year club, elite class of quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes making 45 even, Josh Allen right behind him at $43 million, and Dak Prescott at $40 million. Let me ask you this, Ravens flock. If you could take one quarterback to lead your franchise, would you go with Lamar Jackson or Dak Prescott? Myself, producer Jeremy, we're going with Lamar Jackson. He's the most lethal quarterback in the NFL, and from a leadership perspective, I think he does just as much with intangibles as a player like Dak Prescott. Now, he might not be the prototypical drop-back passer that Dak is, but Lamar makes up for it in other areas. You look at what he did in his MVP year passing the football. Completed 66% of his passes, right around or right above league average, 3,100 yards, 36 touchdowns to 6 picks. rushing the football. Dak Prescott, he would never do this. 176 totes, 1,200 yards, average yards per carry of nearly 7, and he adds on 7 touchdowns on the ground. Literally, no quarterback in the history of the NFL has put forward this level of production. So when Lamar is sitting down to have a nice plate of dinner with his mom and they're talking about his future contract and him whether or not he deserves the bag, the answer to that question is yes. Lamar, you deserve the bag because you're doing things that no other quarterback in the NFL can do. There's also this. Yes, $40 million per year is a large chunk of cash for a quarterback. But consider this. The NFL salary cap is only going to continue to bloom and blossom over the next several years as the new TV deals kick in. So at the end of the day, if Lamar continues to run the football effectively and pass the football like he has, and he continues to show the growth and continues to be a really great leader for this football team, $40+ million, it's actually could be a bargain for Lamar Jackson with his future contract. So I previewed this question earlier, and I want to officially ask it to you right now. Who's better? LJ for Lamar? DP for Dak Prescott? Make sure you get your votes in. I might have to go Lamar because Dak, more limited quarterback, even though he's getting paid more, I think Lamar is right on his coattails. Great time to pick up your Lamar Jackson jerseys, especially if he is the long-term answer at quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. And look, this front office, the way that they've operated really since the early 2000s and even late 90s prior to getting to that Super Bowl window has always been a great and well-run organization. I think they're going to pay Lamar Jackson. Get your Jackson jerseys right now by going to chatsports.com/RavensJersey. The black one, really fresh, and he's going to continue to be the guy in Be More, so get those jerseys so you can support him as well as this Ravens team. More Ravens rumors to get to. Cordarrelle Patterson, a Swiss Army knife, does a lot of the same things that a guy like Deebo Samuel does, coming off a terrific year with the Atlanta Falcons. Are the Ravens going to make a play at Cordarrelle Patterson as an NFL free agent? Sammy Watkins might be leaving in free agency. Patterson would add versatility to the Ravens wide receiving core as well as the running back room, and he can be used in a similar fashion to Deebo Samuel, who general manager of the 49ers called a wide back. It's really the first time that I've ever heard that term, but I think we're going to see players in that mold moving forward because why not find a way, creatively to get the ball in the hands of your best playmakers. You could do that with Cordarrelle Patterson and him being a running back or him being a wide receiver with Lamar posing a running threat keeps the defense on its heels. Ravens wide receiver depth chart right now. They're in a good spot. They could use another addition. Marquise Brown, is he a number one? Maybe not, but if you have good pieces around him, that absorbs that blow. Rashad Bateman, really liked him coming out of college. I still do. Sammy Watkins, we'll see if he comes back. Duvernay, really good player. Boykin is as well. You add another receiver to this mix, though, the depth becomes very, very good. Now, with what Cordarrelle Patterson was able to do last year, kind of gives you a preview of what maybe he can bring to the Charm City. 69 targets last year through the air, 52 catches, 548 yards, 5 touchdowns. He can be used on wheel routes. He can also be used on traditional simple routes. Rushing numbers, really good as well. So we're looking at a guy who's giving you 1,100 yards from scrimmage and is also a very good return man. So he can really contribute in 3 phases: special teams, running, as well as receiving. I mean, 618 rushing yards last year with some more tutties on top of it. It's really impressive. And yes, he's getting a little bit older. He's been in the league for a long time, but he's really evolved this game. I mean, early on with the Vikings, with the Bears, even with the Patriots, he wasn't used like he was used by Arthur Smith last year in Atlanta. And I hope that he's continued to use in that similar fashion because this past year, he's one of the best all-around offensive players in the National Football League. Do you have interest in Cordarrelle Patterson? Your opportunity to voice your opinions, be a part of the show, just like I am as the host, and let me know if you want the Ravens to be in on CPAT. S for sign, P for pass, get those votes in, have some back and forth between some of your fellow Ravens fans in the comment section, and while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe.